How's it going, boys and girls? I'll be right back. Been running the go kart the last little while. Pretty fun. It's stupid to have that much fun with a game where you're literally just driving a go kart by yourself because they haven't added multiplayer yet. Cup Series at Homestead. Cool. Got the stream title right. Back for another afternoon of talking about itself. I shall return momentarily. Hell yeah, I had a zero sugar cherry Pepsi left. I forgot that I had.
He starts from the pole. Josh Berry with a B. He's been to victory lane. Ryan Blaney has been competitive, looking for victory lane, which William Byron found in the Daytona 500. Now, our last 7 mile-and-a-half oval races have all seen different winners. And this mile and a half has seen 9 different winners in its last 9 races. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the broadcast booth. One of those 9 races to my immediate left, Kevin Harvick won a championship here at Homestead Miami Speedway. So, we've talked a lot about how everybody wants to ride the wall if they can. What is the risk versus reward ratio of doing that?
Well, I've been telling you guys, you have to take some risk here, and I think you can get away with some of that with this car. It's a little bit tougher than the previous generation cars, but there is a line that's too far to cross and break a toe link or knock a fender off the thing, and then that puts you in a really bad spot. But today, you're going to have to take a risk because Kyle Larson is going to. He's going to ride right next to the wall. Tyler Reddick, some of these guys are really good at it, Clint.
Well, you took my 2 drivers. Those guys, we have road course ringers in this sport. We have wall riding ringers, and those 2 do it better than the rest. But this track is extremely challenging. To be able to ride within an inch of the wall for 267 laps, I'll tell you how hard it is. The best guy to do it, Kyle Larson's led 600 laps, over 600 laps here. Been here 11 times and has only won 1 race. That's how hard it is.
Larson was going for the three-peat this weekend. He won the truck race Friday night. On a late restart yesterday, he got jacked up, and it's hard to accelerate when your wheels are not on the ground. Long runs. Are we going to see that today, and how is that going to affect what happens? We haven't had green flag pit stops all year. Yeah, I think you're going to see some green flag pit stops, and with the way that this racetrack is.
Surely in this race you'll see green flag stops, but I don't know. Vegas kind of took me by surprise. I expected green flag stops at Vegas. I feel like Homestead's even more treacherous than Vegas because of the way guys like to run up against the wall. So this could just be a repeat of last week, and we get a lot of cautions at weird or unfortunate times, depending on who you are.
Last weekend, he led the most laps, did not win the race. Caution came out at the wrong time. They never got the track position back, never saw him again for the rest of the race. That can happen, just like it
it did yesterday in an Xfinity race for him. It can happen to Larson. That's how you beat these guys.
Well, that'll spread things out. I mean, you can't beat yourself.
You can't beat yourself, but all year we've seen these guys beat themselves on pit road or on restarts or whatever the case is. So don't beat yourself today, and you'll have a chance to win this race.
37 drivers at the ready on a beautiful day here in
37.
South Florida to go racing. Big crowd, long line of cars waiting to get in here earlier. We're ready to go. Let's go trackside.
Homestead, Miami Speedway. Give a big NASCAR welcome to Bradley Chubb. He's a two-time NFL Pro Bowler and an
Well, I've got a Chubb right now.
for Miami Dolphins. And he's ready to say the most famous words in motorsports. Take it away, Bradley.
Miami, are y'all ready? I said, Miami, are y'all ready? Drivers, start your engines.
Oh, those underachieving Miami Dolphins. They're incorrigible.
37 engines roar to life as these drivers get set to tackle the progressive paved mile-and-a-half.
It's getting pretty cloudy, especially over turn 4.
This tax season, do more than just
What is the weather for Homestead, Florida today? Homestead, Florida weather. 80 degrees and cloudy with no precipitation. Well, we like that. Actually, I don't like cloudy. I'd like it to be bright and sunny and heat this track up and get it nice and slick. But, you know, we'll take no rain. No rain on a race day in Florida is a win. So we'll just be happy with that. My first onboard camera of the day is Mr. Bubba Wallace. He's starting 9th. I like to pick a car. I was going to start with Josh Berry, but he's on the front row. Man, they're fast. So I decided to go with Bubba. Start 9th. He was one of the best cars last week. Got wrecked. Bubba was a top 5 car, race winner, contender. I would look for more of the same today. I got high hopes for Bubba today, but I think everybody kind of expects the Hendrick cars to dominate because Bowman put it on the pole. Byron's top 5. We know Larson's resume here, and Chase is Chase. He's going to be good. So I like what I'm seeing out of AJ Allmendinger. He's starting 10th. The College cars, especially AJ, have shown improvement on the Cup side this year. You know, they're not quite threats to win, but top 10, top 15, that's an improvement over where they've been. You know, we all know what they can do on road courses with AJ. He was fast at Vegas, so it's good to see him good on the ovals. Will I be playing Heat maybe after the race? I thought about playing it this afternoon, but I was like, I better just save myself for this stream, and then if I feel good after the race and I want to do something, I might play NASCAR.
Miami Speedway. There's the Miami skyline. We're about 35 miles to the south alongside Homestead Air Force Base. As Alex Bowman leads them off pit road, 37 strong as we get ready to roll here.
Oh.
All right, let's get a word with our ball sitter before he rolls off at speed here. Good, guys.
Rumor is Homestead will be the season finale once again next season. I certainly hope so. I like the paint scheme on that 48. Excuse me. Josh Berry gonna go back to back? Question mark.
Well, let's get word with him. Josh Berry, Kevin, and the guys up in the Fox booth. You got that card in victory lane. Let's wait for the Wood brothers on the front row again today. What's the risk versus reward for you today? What's the plan, buddy?
Yeah, no, I feel like we have the solid car. Obviously, want to take care of it. You know, little things right. Never know we find ourselves spinning again. So just everybody on this 21 team has been doing a great job. So thank you to activity, get forward, and we're gonna go have some fun today.
All right, man. Good luck ripping the fence today. Have a good time. Good luck.
Thank you, man.
Now, row number two, Noah Grigson was the first driver to qualify, and he had the pole until Bowman and Murray caught a cloud late. He'll start third. Chris Briscoe has
I like how a cloud is the reason why Bowman won the pole. I like that Dent Wizard paint scheme. John Hunter Nemechek is really overachieving this year in the 42 car. They were fortunate and good at Daytona and Atlanta, and really overachieved at Vegas. So, 42 cars off to a good start this year. Bubba's radio, if you can hear it in the background. That's once again whose camera I'm starting with today on Max. I was just saying it is pretty funny that he won the pole because it got cloudy and cooled the track a little bit, and him and Barry shot to the top of the board. I'm gonna pick Bubba Wallace to win today, and I won't bet money on him just to increase his chances. Because nothing good ever happens when I bet on someone. Usually, when I bet on someone, they have the race in hand and then experience agonizing defeat as it slips away late in the going. The playoff race here last year is one of the greatest races I've ever watched, so I would like to see something similar today. Coming to the one to go here for the green. Vegas was a crazy race. I've got high hopes for today.
Yeah, it's a tough racetrack as we look at the weather right here. It's an absolutely perfect.
80 laps, 85 laps, 102. The stage lengths, field window 65 to 70 laps. You'll pit probably around 55 laps, I figure, maybe even sooner for tires. Obviously, you'll split the stages, so we'll say around lap 35 to 40 here, guys will start pitting because some people are going to be struggling. I think some of these guys in the top 10 are going to plummet. Just making a prediction here, I think Gregson, Briscoe, and Nemechek are going to slip. And they'll probably want to hit pit road early. Just say that because those are guys that don't usually run up front consistently. Although I will say Nemechek has really overachieved this year. Old Bill Byron, 2021 Homestead winner. Penske across the board has been really fast, and that includes Cindric, who should have 2 wins. Cindric should have won twice already this year. Ty Gibbs qualified 13th. Massive improvement because, at Homestead, or excuse me, Las Vegas, they qualified low 20s and ran 30th. So to qualify top 15 is a step up. Let's see if they can keep it there. My max is behind my FS1, which is how I prefer it. Green, green, green. Long day. Blaney the first to go 3 wide around the top. Everybody else pretty orderly. Blaney's the one who jumped out of line there. Now I see Seabell and Almendinger a little further back doing the same. Larson 3 wide in the middle between Gibbs and Bell. Bowman got away with the lead. Look at all the different lanes. Bowman already going up towards the wall as the leader, running the wall. We had a car almost wreck at the back, according to Mike. I really like Blaney. I think right here in the early part of the race, I think Blaney is the car to beat. And here he comes for third. Yep, I'm going to say Blaney's the car to beat. Briscoe slipping early, as I predicted. Little 4-car breakaway at the front, and Blaney's looking for second. Bubba's saying his car is tight. He's running 8th, started 9th, so still okay for now. The only car not slipping back a little bit that I expected to slip was Gregson. He's 4th. We're only 5 laps in, but Larson not making the hay. I thought he would. Chase Elliott just flew by him down the back. And Blaney is pressuring Bowman for the lead now. 5 laps complete. get the push from his teammate or allied car, Barry, down the front. And I think Blaney will have the lead in the next half a lap or so. Big run down the. God, Blaney's fast. Blaney's so fast. That was effortless. He didn't even really have a push from behind and hawked Bowman down the straightaway and dove to his inside. Bowman gets the big run off the corner, just enough to stay ahead. Old Ryan Blaney ain't fucking around today. He's had a rough few weeks. Vegas was a fucking nightmare for them. Larson almost knocked the wall down already. Just a little kiss, though. Big moment for Allmendinger there off of two. Whoa! And Doors Busher down the straightaway. I don't know if he meant to. He might have just been trying to side draft him and misjudged it, and maybe Busher came up a little bit. And Blaney to the inside of Bowman again down the front stretch. And I think over here in 1 and 2 is where the pass is going to happen. He's really good on the bottom. And, you know, the higher you run, the more you got to back that entry up. So if a guy's really fast on the bottom, he can clear up in front of you. You got to clear up in front of the top car before you get to exit, or he's probably just going to fly by you again or hang on your door. So Blaney's leader. As I predicted about 8 laps ago, I was like, yep, I like Blaney's car. Watch Bubba's on board during this break. Not a lot's going on at the moment, so just about pretty much running where he started. What happened to the first couple of weeks this year where we basically got commercial-free races? Bubba's working over Cindric for 7th place. Bubba is right on the wall now. He was running middle of the track to lower, but he's definitely moved up now. I think guys are anticipating a long run here, and you run higher, it saves the tires a little more. He's like 3 lanes up in 2, and he was right on the wall in 3 and 4 last time. Let's see if he does it again. Oh, yeah, you can tell by the way he's backing up that entry. Cindric's basically mirror driving him, though. And I can tell that really affected the handling of Bubba's car there, because Cindric's running the same line. See, my leaderboard's updating for y'all. That's good. Allmendinger dove to the inside of Bubba and passed him for 8th. His little moment over in 4 in the dirty air of the 2 car cost him a spot. So Bubba's slipping a little bit, fighting a tight car. And we're back on Fox. Or, excuse me, FS1. Selfishly, I prefer the races on FS1 because the picture quality on FS1 in my area is much better than Fox's picture quality, and my HBO Max is behind a little bit when I'm on FS1. So I don't like when races are on FS1 because I think they should all be on Fox, but I have my own selfish reasons for preferring FS1. Did Larson hit the wall? Ooh, man, Larson hit the wall pretty good there. Rode that right rear on the outside wall a pretty good ways. Larson's all the way back in 18th. Josh Berry's passing for second. I I gotta commend the improvement overall in Penske's performance. Last year, it felt like Blaney was the only good car, until Joe Logano came alive in the last 3 weeks. But this year, every Penske car is fast every week. They all run top 12, top 10, top 15 at worst. Penske across the board has found something big. The leap in performance in the 21 car is remarkable. Has a lot to do with the driver, though. And I see, as I look back through the running order, Ty Gibbs dropped to 20th, so he's having another bad race. Brad Keselowski's running in the 30s. He's been off lately. Busher's been solid. Brad's not been very good lately. Who else is running poorly? Kyle Busch in the 20s. Blaney's got a 2.5 second lead in the next gen car. That's massive. A 2.5 second lead in the next gen car is crazy. It's going to be a 3 second lead. Denny Hamlin, 27th. Not a good first showing for Progressive on the 11 car so far. You're going to see a lot of guys pit at like lap 35. I was conservative. I said 35. Larry says he thinks guys will pit before that. But then you got to go 50 laps after that. So I wouldn't want to do that. Briscoe's car is really fast. I underestimated him today. I was kind of knocking him before the race. He's fast. Once again, the Toyotas, Gibbs, they're all over the place. Briscoe's really fast. Bubba's solid. And Bell's moving to the front, but all the others are running like shit. Tyler Reddick's not even in the top 10. We expect Reddick to be top 10 here. Briscoe's third. Past Josh Berry. They've mentioned Byron, Bell, and Berry. B. Everybody with a B name's winning this year. The top 4 cars, Blaney, Bowman, Briscoe, Berry. So Kyle Busch has got to be due for a turnaround at some point, right? Kyle Busch is going to get on the winning track because if your last name starts with a B, you're going to win this year. So I expect big things out of Chris Buescher and Kyle Busch moving forward.
And his team talked about that last week. Maintain your track position and also be able to pass better. That's a huge key.
Blaney stinking up the show early. Pit stops are coming though. Get our first wave of race altering mistakes probably here when they start pitting. I'm gonna switch off of Bubba. I think I'm gonna ride with Briscoe because I like what I'm seeing out of his car. Where are you at? Chase Briscoe on board. Switch around a little bit. Ripping the fence over in 3 and 4 is Chase Briscoe.
That's 25 complete, 25 complete, 55 more.
Larson and Reddick 16th and 17th. Give Front Row Motorsports credit. Gregson's 5th and Zane Smith is 12th. And Denny Hamlin was 27th, but he just picked up 4 spots in a couple of laps, so I think Hamlin's got a decent long run car once he gets through that traffic. Trackhouse being slow after the way they ran last week is a bit of a surprise. Chastain's really struggling. 27th. Vangisbergen 33rd, and I think Suarez is like 20th. Basically, everybody that's not Ryan Blaney's struggling because he's 4 seconds ahead of everyone. Just an unbelievably dominant looking car he has early in the era of parity. And we're back. 30 laps in. We're lean, mean, and green. Bubba and AJ are about to battle for 8th. Bubba's car's coming back to him a little bit, I think. Good long run car for Gibbs. Went from 13th to 20th, back up to 17th, so they're okay. They're decent. Certainly compared to how they've been running. Phoenix and Vegas were just really shit. pit stops are beginning on lap 32. Centric and Logano and Byron hit pit road. The floodgates have opened. And the 19 of Briscoe is pitting. I'm on his onboard. Logano almost ran into Cindric on the way out. Blaney, the leader, is pitting on lap 33. Well, they pitted sooner than I had to in my race I did last night. Excuse me. Josh Berry pitting from the lead. Boyer just mentioned keep an eye on the blend line. Pit road exit at Homestead is interesting. You got that long, basically single lane access road all the way till you come off turn 2. I don't want to hear that, Harvick. Sun's come out, though. If you look at the track, it's getting hotter. Harvick's just going to be hard to pass today. And I'm like, don't tell me that at Homestead. Zane Smith is so slow on his old tires, it looked like he was coming to pit road. Well, that 38 really needs to pit. He is very slow. This is going to be one of those races that will get better as it goes on. Once it's really rubbered in and there's rubber everywhere and the groove's really wide, like I know guys are already running different lines, but once this track gets worked in, this race will be one that improves over time. But good luck beating Ryan Blaney because goddamn, that's the best Homestead car I have seen in the next gen era. I can confidently say that only after 39 laps of racing that Blaney's got the best car I've seen at Homestead since we went to this car. It's going to be Blaney, then Bowman, then Gregson. Wow. Gregson got ahead of Briscoe on that cycle. Hamlin and the 11 team have never been afraid to run long. They do that a lot. Bell and Hamlin do that quite a bit, actually. Good to see some identity on that 11 car. They say Ty Dillon spit on pit road. He's been really good at that this year. There was an Austin Dillon. I don't know. I think it was Austin Dillon. I don't know. Who cares? Ty Dillon's still on the track. Oh, it was Zane Smith. My bad. I don't know where I got Dillon from. Zane Smith spit on pit road. Yeah, that 47 team's real contrary. Everybody else hires good drivers. They have Ricky Stenhouse. Everybody else pits early. They run long. They're real contrarians over there on the 47 car. Harvick's kind of echoing what I said. This race is going to change a lot. It looks one way early, but we'll see how this looks at the end of the stage when the guys that just pitted come roaring back on the guys that pitted early. Blaney, Bowman, Byron, Gregson, Briscoe, Logano, Busher, Allmendinger, and Bubba. Stenhouse still hasn't pitted. Bold strategy, Cotton. Have to see if it pays off for him. Busher's made some gains through the green flag stops. He went from 11th. He's going to be 6th here.
Cycle complete here, P5. Get a multi-check.
Excellent conversation in the stream as always. I miss the days when people gave me shit to talk about doing this.
Go to stop killing his entry speed into 1. Our entry speed into 1. We're just over slowing there. Still can help use it at 47 on some lap better tires. It's a lap down. Slow down. Still 4 off you. Really bad. Just super long field. Really, really bad. Copy. About it. He's a lap down. Fresher tires here.
Stenhouse just passed Briscoe on fresh tires trying to unlap himself. I wish there'd be a caution. That'd be funny. I got news for you. You ain't going to gain enough ground to catch Blaney, no matter what you do. Did I make any bets? No. I don't have a passion for betting right now. Just a waste of money. I wanted to bet maybe Bubba, but his car is only decent. He's top 10, but he just kept saying it was tight. It's tight. It's tight. It's tight. And looking at what Blaney has, I would say a Penske car or a Hendrick car is probably going to win this race. That's my early prediction here. A Penske car, or Wood Brothers car, or a Hendrick car is going to win this race. And Boyer sound like me there for a second. I drove my go-kart for like an hour before the race started. The last run I did in the go-kart, I was running this one course, and my best lap time was like between 112 and 115, and then I ran a fucking 1 minute and 10-second lap right at the end. I was like, fuck it, I'm comfortable, let me just drive hard here for a lap. Picked up like 2 seconds. Oh, Bubba! 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 Ooh. He shot up the track and almost hooked himself on Cindric. They didn't touch, but they got as close as you could. Well, now they're touching. Bubba and Cindric down the back. Don't do the right hook, Cindric. Oh, Cindric got really loose off a 4, and Bubba cleared him. That's for 8. And now Bubba's taking a defensive line. Cindric dove to the inside, and Bubba just parked it in front of him there. Cindric lost a lot of speed there into 1. Hard racing there. Hey, at least 2 guys look like they're racing hard. We crack jokes. It's early in the race. Hold on, I can't even remember the name of it. Hold on, let me look. I gotta look on my meta thing. And I'll tell you exactly what the name is. They haven't added multiplayer yet, so we can't play it together yet. It's still a work in progress, but it's extremely realistic. It's called Ibism Cart. It's IBISIM Cart. Abysm Cart, if that's how you pronounce it. Right now, it's basically a game still in development, but it only costs like $12. So MetaQuest 3S, MetaQuest 3, MetaQuest 2. So yeah, it is cross-platform. And yeah, it's early access, so this is like the first release build of the game. The go kart in the simulator I've been playing, I drive rear wheel drive because it's more fun. It's very loose, but that's a good thing. Like you'll spin out if you're overly aggressive, you will spin out. Whenever they add the multiplayer, we got to drive rear wheel drive because it's way more fun. Front wheel drive, the car was too tight. Rear wheel drive is more what I'm used to based on the kind of racing I like. All wheel drive is kind of strange feeling, but yeah, the forward drive just didn't turn well at all. Excuse me. I'm gonna switch to Larson's camera for the last 17 laps of this run. He went from eight. He cycled through to like 18th. He's up to 13th now. So maybe the tire difference is going to pay off enough here to maybe crack the top 10. 12th now for Larson. So I see he's passing cars. I'll go to his camera. Right now, there's only like 3 courses to play. I wish there were some more high speed courses. The courses that you can play right now are very technical. There's one of them that kind of has a long straightaway on it, but I would like one with like a really fucking like 1 or 2 long straightaways mixed in. But the longest course they have is my favorite one. It's very winding, and there's a couple of parts where you're like coming around a carousel type corner and it's kind of fast, and you can feel the rear of the cart want to come around on you when you've got the rear wheel drive engaged. Tyler Reddick's top 10. He pitted kind of late, if I remember correctly. Stenhouse, even with the tire difference, has still not unlapped himself. Stenhouse is still a lap down with like 20 lap fresher tires. Larson passing Reddick. Larson is in the top 10. Reddick kind of did cut him a break. It's not the big gain I thought it would be late in the run for Larson, but he's still going to be ahead of where he was running. So I would say this strategy was a success because he was 15th to 17th, and now he's going to be in the top 10, probably about 7th or 8th place here at the end of the stage. Hell, maybe sixth. I see Logano's not far. I think Larson can get to sixth place here. So actually a bigger gain than I thought. Who won 2022 Miami? Kyle Larson. Larson won the first next gen Homestead race. Man, Blaney's good. I just like how I saw that within the first 4 laps of the race. I said, "Damn, Blaney looks good." He was just noticeably faster than everybody he was around. I can tell you in the first 5 to 10 laps who's going to be the guy to beat usually. No matter where they're running, I can pretty much always tell you. When I was playing the go-kart game, once I got used to the fact that like you got to hold the grip buttons to grip the steering wheel, you can kind of hold your arms any way you want. I kind of put my elbows on my stomach and hold my arms up to try to rest my arms a little bit. Depending on what corner you're in, your arms don't get too wore out because you're going left to right, left to right. And then you have like a straightaway here and there where you can let rest your arms completely. But you got to hold the grip buttons to hold the steering wheel, and then gas is obviously right trigger on the right controller. Left controller is like the brake, and then there's like your downshift and upshift buttons. But really, the only time you gotta do that is if you fucking spin out, which I did a lot early when I was playing the go kart game. I have to spin out, put it in reverse, and get it going again. You know what? Oh, caution, caution! We got caution with 11 to go here. And Christopher Bell just spun off a 4. Did he hit anything? 20 cars spun over here. Stopped on the front stretch. 10 to go. Looks like he didn't hit anything. He's rolling. He's obviously got a flat, 1 or 2 flat tires, but he's not stuck. Larson got up to 7th there before the yellow, and everybody's going to pit here.
Yeah, clean air on the fine. Traffic is tough.
That was a 71 lap green flag run for you. Oh my God, Christopher Bell did the Chris Rott. Like I said, the Gibbs cars are all over the place. Today, Briscoe's the good Gibbs car. He's legitimately fast. Briscoe's a top 5 car. All the other Gibbs cars kind of suck. And the 2311 cars are decent. Except Riley Hurst, who sucks everywhere we go because he's a rookie. I'm worried about that rear diffuser getting damaged on the 20 cars. It's dragging there because he's down on the right rear. Ooh, Christopher Daniels says Larson's got the car to beat Blaney because Larson said, "Oh, the 12's good, ain't he?" And they said, "We got him." That's a bold statement because a 10-second lead in this car is wild. You just don't see that. Everybody's pitting here, I'm assuming. I know Larson's pitting. He's in 7th, so the whole top 10 at least is coming in. Oh, they had a tire getaway on Blaney, I think. Is that is that going to be an uncontrolled tire on the 12? Because that tire rolled pretty far out. You know, NASCAR's itching to get him with a penalty because he's got such a dominant car. Blaney wins a race off pit road. While I was listening, while I was driving the go kart, I was listening to a podcast Joe Buck did with Jeff Gordon, and Jeff Gordon flat out said NASCAR told him and Ray Abraham in '98 to fucking tone it down, that they were too dominant and they were stinking up the show. So Gordon said there were races around that time where they'd be like, all right, you got a 1 second lead. All right, you got a 2 second lead. And he said when it would get to 4 seconds, Ray Abraham would say, all right, you're at 4 seconds. And Jeff would slow down. They were so dominant they'd get a 4 second lead and just slow down just because, nobody was going to beat them anyway, and they didn't want to get much of a bigger lead because NASCAR was bitching them out about dominating the races. And Jeff says, yeah, that was a good problem to have when you're that good. We're like, all right, I'll slow down a little while, let everybody else catch up. Highest form of motorsport in the world, and he was so good, and Ray was so good at building cars that they slowed down on purpose. If they never changed the car, Larson would have probably won, and he would have averaged 6 or 7 wins a year. He's been good since. I mean, he won 3 races the following year, which was a letdown, and then a couple, then like 5 the next year. Then last year he won 6, something like that. So he's still been really good, but yeah, he would won. He would have won as many, but probably a little more if they never switched cars. Yeah, Richard Petty was praised for it, but they were bitching at Jeff Gordon and Ray Evernham, and Jeff said they would slow down on purpose. I about wrecked my go kart on that one. I was laughing. I was like, really? Should have watched my NASCAR heat race last night if you want to see old school racing.
How many laps to go? It'll be 5. We kick the green 5. This will be one to go to Yorkshire.
They're getting one to go, and they're going to restart with 5 laps in stage one. Larson was just told on the radio.
Recognized the service and dedication of the green will be with one to go. Track today were members of the Homestead Air Force Base, Florida Highway Patrol, Homestead Police Fire and EMT, Miami-Dade Police Fire and EMTs. Larson joins us in thanking all of our first responders and we wouldn't be here this weekend racing if it wasn't for those guys.
Friday during the truck race, they were actually using the pond right off the back straightaway here to dip those buckets in the water and working on fires right over here across the road. So thankful to have those first responders there.
All right, winners and losers on this pit stop cycle. Winner is
NASCAR is more competitive than it's ever been. You're gonna have stretches of races or parts of a race that just aren't interesting because the races are really long.
Joey Logano in the 22 came in sixth and came out in shootout time here, Kevin.
Yeah, this gives us a great opportunity
See what Blaney's got on a short run. He fired off good early and took the lead fairly quickly.
to be aggressive. Everybody knows how hard it is to pass right now. So
Michael McDowell sixth. How'd that happen?
chances right here to gain some traction.
Was that a two-tire stop for McDowell to gain track position and try to hold it here for 5 laps? Gregson did not go at all, and Allmendinger immediately takes him 5 wide. AJ did not cut Kyle Larson any breaks there when he got held up by Gregson. Whoa, Bubba just bounced off the wall in the middle of everybody. And Bowman came off of turn 2 with the lead. Bowman was good in qualifying, so that would tell me he's got a good short run car, but he can't overcome Blaney here. Blaney's already taken it back off of 4. Oh, just barely cleared him. Aggressive move for Blaney there. Larson's starting to come back here. He got held up, obviously, for a good lap, but he's ripping the top around Byron. Larson, big dive under the inside. Oh, hang on, Larson. Kind of run the 19 up the track. That's going to help Blaney and Bowman build a gap. And now they're ganging up on Larson here, his own teammate, to his outside. Yeah, I mean, Larson's got a good car, but he ain't got nothing for Blaney, not yet. Not yet, but I think he's in the ballpark. Big block from Allmendinger. Allmendinger's being really hyper aggressive. 2 to go. Bowman right in Blaney's tire tracks. Got about a 5-car length gap back to Briscoe. Now it's about an 8-car length lead for first and second over third. Bowman is fighting hard for this. 1 to go. He just can't get there. At least Bowman is competitive with Blaney on the short run. On the short run, this is pretty competitive because Blaney can't get away. Gregson went from top 5 back to 10th. What a shock. It's Blaney. Big run off the top. A little loose, but fast. Run, Blaney, win stage 1. Denny Hamlin almost got stage points. He finished 11th. After running in the 20s the whole race, Denny Hamlin got up to 11th. So Blaney's best all around, short run or long run. Bowman's got a good short run car. And Larson's got a really good car. And better pay attention to Briscoe, too. He's good. I would say the 4 best cars in the race are the top 4. But Blaney's still in a class of his own.
Happy with that, just a little bit loose off wall if it's 3. But I would, like, if I was in the lead, I would say that would be really an issue.
Excuse me.
I was happy with my front grip, though. Copy.
Sounds like you missed a shift from up here. Talking to these guys, like a nose shift.
Said Gregson missed a shift on the restart. They were apologizing to Larson because he kind of got jacked up in that mess. Better than yesterday, though, when Sam Mayer had Sam Mayer really had him jacked up yesterday. Larson still fucking choked. I don't care what you say. It's like 50-50. It's like 50% Larson choked, 50% goddamn Sam Mayer just rammed the fuck out of him as soon as they got to the restart box. me get out of this chair for a little while. I had a zero sugar cherry Pepsi that I forgot I had in the fridge. That made my day. You guys would watch USFL or UFL next Saturday? You know, I miss NFL football, but I don't miss it bad enough to watch the UFL.
Daniel Suarez has been the biggest gainer on the racetrack. As for his pit crew, they have been the fastest this season so far. It's a group of guys that are the same from last year that includes a Super Bowl champion.
Josh Bush, front tire changer. I voted 300 before.
Seven Norris, rear tire changer. Me, Anna McDonald, middle school. Charlie Plank, tire carrier. I don't like blue cheese.
Josh Appleby.
That motherfucker's name is Appleby. His last name was Appleby.
Talented group right there. Led by crew chief Matt Swiderski and the spotter up on the roof, Frank Campbell, second.
Undefeated at checkers. You imagine them boys on the road?
Hey, I'm undefeated at Deadline in GTA Online, for the record.
You got the bowling covered.
You bowled a 300 on the Wii. I think my best game on the VR bowling's like 280 something. Like 283 or whatever the fuck. I can usually consistently hit 200 or better.
All I can go off is an experience. Brad Keselowski, Todd Gilliland,
I golfed this morning.
Kyle Busch stayed out on 5-lap tires. They looked like Michael Jackson moonwalking.
Well, at least
Deadline's hard. Nah, Deadline's easy. I don't know why I'm so fucking good at it, but I used to dog people's asses playing Deadline. I had motherfuckers sending me death threats saying I was hacking. It's like, dude, we're playing on a PS4. How am I hacking?
Pittsburgh will be up in here.
When will they score?
We are pitting the night pitted past you. You'll be coming around the 12.
600 laps in the first 5 races.
they haven't won the race yet, but they keep winning the war at the end of the year.
Yeah, no wonder Penske's good here. They heard Homestead's going to be the final race next season, so now they're going to fucking be the best team at Homestead like they're the best team at Phoenix right now. Penske and Christopher Bell on Phoenix.
Your lights are on the 12.
He's pretty happy with the numbers.
2-1 now to the win.
He's never won.
Coming around the 12, for in 4.
He's pretty happy with it. They're a little loose in traffic in turn 3, but changes if he's up there in the lead. But happy with the 5 results.
Austin Cindric seems to trend in the right direction.
Blaney's barely going to keep the lead here. William Byron just about. Wow, Bowman won the race off pit. Whoa! Logano and Berry got together in the pits. And Bowman's the new leader, and Blaney is second. I was going to say, Blaney was barely going to win the race off pit road, and then Bowman shot out in front of both of them.
21.
Larson's bitching about Josh Berry hitting him in the door there. Larson's got a little bit of damage. Joey's got some, could be significant damage on the right front of Joey's car. That man, Joey and Berry, they came out at the same time, and Larson was just passing by. I'm going to say Larson's probably all right. I've got his radio on right now. Well, that definitely shook things up a bit because Berry and Logano were both top 10. The damage on Joey's right front's pretty significant, I think.
They'll get turned around as Todd Gilliland leads his pit in the conventional direction.
That was just bad timing. They both left their stall at the exact same time. I'll be right back. I'm back. I'm getting Popeyes again. I've become rehooked on Popeyes, so I'm their only customer usually.
Wheels coming off and being lost, suspensions being handed out, cars being turned around, and even a car leaving his dropping down the road to get that done, which NASCAR said that's okay if it's a safety issue. But here today,
I'm glad NASCAR agrees that if it's a safety issue, you can pit in somebody else's box and have them tighten your shit up. That beats the alternative of sending somebody out there and the wheel flying off. They're telling Larson to stay out. They're not worried about the damage on the left side. They want to get a better look at it, but not right now. So they're telling Larson stay out. We got to keep our track position here. Old Hocevar is going to be the leader.
Jamie,
Well, just listening to Kyle Larson, they say they have a hole about larger than a baseball on the left side rocker panel. He was going to bring it down for them to fix it. They just told him to stay out. Something that
I'm still on Larson's on board. Tempted to switch to Hocevar, but I'll stick with Larson. I want to see how his car handles with that damage, if it's going to hurt him.
green flag stops. And the ball in that car was the 47 Ricky Stenhouse. This time,
Yeah, NASCAR being smart for once with the whole pitting in somebody else's box deal.
the last two races, including his win at Las Vegas. Carson Hocevar with those now at least 5-lap scuffs from running
Old Carson hover car stayed out and took the lead here. He's got about 5 laps on his tires. That's a decent little difference there. These tires do fall off after 5 laps, and then even more after about 10 or 15. Excuse me. Hocevar nailed the restart with a push from Byron. Obviously, the 48 and the 12 here, I think, are just going to get right back out front where they were, and there you have it. Hocevar's car did not stick at all there, and they're not even at speed yet. Byron got in front of Blaney because Blaney kind of got checked up by Hocevar sliding up the track, and Bowman's got the lead. So once again, Bowman really good on short run. Denny Hamlin looks good all of a sudden. He's 5th. Whoa, Bubba. 3 wide. Bubba forcing it in there on Chase and Cindric. Larson is really struggling in this traffic. Dropped to 11th. Blaney getting second place back from Byron. Blaney's going to have the lead again here before long. I hate to tell you guys, but if it's on a green-white checkered, Bowman's going to have a chance. If there's a restart with 2 to go for the win, he's going to have a chance. But other than that, probably not. They're showing the Cup race on Fox because the IndyCar broadcast is cut out for some reason. I can't wait to read social media here in a little while. Welcome to the Fox Sports Experience, IndyCar fans. I'm a filthy casual IndyCar fan, but I'd like to welcome all the diehard IndyCar fans to Fox Sports. This is what you get when you're on fucking Fox. It took Dennis about 90 laps or so, but I think Denny's going to be a factor today. Bowman's got the fastest lap of the race. Not surprised. He won the pole for a reason. Good short run speed. Host of ours stabilized in about seventh. That's pretty good. Better than where they were running. Denny Hamlin going for third. I'm going to switch to Denny's on board. I want to ride with Dennis for a little while. About due for a camera switch again. I, I don't want to say it killed Larson's car, but I bet in traffic it just made it way worse. I bet if he was where Bowman and Blaney is, he'd probably be okay. Not good enough to beat Blaney or Bowman, but he could probably run with them. But in traffic, it's a nightmare. And here's your fight for the lead. I think Blaney's going to get it into three here. That sun just keeps coming and going. It's cloudy for a little while, and then it's sunny for a while. That's probably playing hell on some of these guys. I just saw that pass for the lead out of Denny Hamlin's windshield. Show that new sponsor. Shout out to Progressive. I like that paint scheme. I like that blue. It's simple. Simple paint schemes are good. Simple paint schemes they pop more on the track. Busy paint schemes look better in pictures, but they don't show up as good on the track. Bubba Wallace, top five. Hopefully they got his car freed up a little bit. He just kept saying it was tight. And Bubba was my sort of pick for this race coming in. If I was going to pick someone, I said Bubba. He and the boss man both have it figured out now. And Hamlin is running Bowman down for second. Go, Denny, go. Come on, Dennis. He's passing Bowman in turn one as we speak on the inside. A new challenger has emerged. It's Denny Hamlin. Kind of wish I'd been on Denny's camera from the start of the race. He was almost 30th at one point. I'd love to know what the hell they've done to get this thing better. Look at lap times real quick. Denny and Blaney are running very much the same lap times. So I don't think Denny's not going to catch Blaney. He's going to be in second for a good while here.
Here is the gap from our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, who has seen the house since 1925.
Blaney's faster, but just barely. And that's all you need with the gap he's built.
With his driving skills, his experience, and everything in between.
His history here at this racetrack has been very good. You see right there, he's not having to ride right against the wall. He's up in the higher lane, but he's not having to run that fence right against it. So his risk is not super high at this particular point.
Always a guy who remains continually on track.
The opposite end of that spectrum, when you think of Kyle Larson, he's willing to ride 6 inches of lane sometimes on it.
And here Larson comes after Noah breaks into the fours to for 10th place. And AJ Allmendinger has been in the top 10.
Larson passing Gregson and Allmendinger. So I think Larson's car is still okay. Might have knocked the race winning ability out of it for now, but it's still pretty good. Really good on the long run, which is what you need, I think.
Allmendinger takes this line of race, starts the process over again.
And here comes Chase Briscoe.
Even that time in front, treated three to the center was better.
I know why Briscoe's doing so well. You can't see his car, so nobody can see him when he passes because he's driving a camouflage car. So guys don't even race him hard. He's just able to pass these because they don't see him coming.
And Byron just moved into 4th place with a pass of Bubba Wallace. Jamie?
Ozzy, you're pestering me. Denny Hamlin's happy.
Briscoe at 13. In 19, we have some changes as well down at this side of the racetrack.
See the 45 car Tyler Reddick right behind him. We expected him to be in the mix today, and he has been nowhere near the front for the most part of this race.
Suarez continuing to move forward. 10th place now. If he can hold off Allmendinger here, and does.
That top three last week was crazy, wasn't it? Barry, Suarez, and Priest finished 1, 2, 3 last week.
Absolutely brilliant. Remember that caution came out. We went restarted about 5 laps to go in stage one. Luke was not chasing stage points. He put 4 sticker tires on, said ride around me easy, take care of the turns, and then they stayed out and got that track position to start this stage.
That makes a lot more sense to see the way that his car has run since the restart.
I'm really surprised that Hocevar is still in the top 10 with the tire difference. Awesome.
I've got for you is you've been better mid 1-2 to the 12 consistently. He's backing up 3.
telling Denny that he and Blaney are very close. Blaney's just better than him off of 4. That's like the only slight difference. And I noticed that looking at lap times that Hamlin and Blaney are very equal. It's just Blaney had already built a gap, so they're kind of just stuck where they are. So Hamlin is competitive with Blaney. So now I would say the 4 best cars in this race are still at the front. I would say Larson's probably 5th best with his damage. He's back in 9th, but he's working his way back. I think Blaney, Hamlin, Bowman, Byron, Bubba, and Larson are the best cars.
That was a little better. It's just still able to get a little squirt now on extra 4
Blaney's kind of got it too easy today. It's more nerve-wracking when it's going this easy for you as a driver or a fan of a driver, you know. You're like, damn, it's too good to be true. When Blaney wins, he fucking wins, doesn't he? Iowa, Pocono, and Martinsville last year, he just dominated the 600 the year before. Oh yeah, I wanted to look at Twitter and see the IndyCar meltdown over the broadcast not fucking acting right. Bam Margera will be in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. Wow. That's cool. Bam Margera makes his Tony Hawk Pro Skater return. I get to skate as Bam in a Tony Hawk game in the year 2025. Oh, let me read David Land here. What's he saying?
In stage 1, William Byron was the first to pit. When the cycle was over, he had gained 3 positions. Chase Briscoe in that operation is in.
When you pan up that beyond overall grip, 12 on front and rear, what you need.
Behind him as we continue under green.
The goddamn killer bees again, Dylan. Blaney, Bowman, Byron. No Bell today, but he wasn't a factor last week either. And pit stops. Bowman, Byron, and Bubba pit at the same time. Bam Bam Bigelow. And pit stops snuck up on me here while we're in the middle of this green flag run. But they are beginning. Reddick's pitting. Blaney didn't waste any time because I think this race is getting more and more competitive, a little closer together, and they want to stay ahead of it, so they didn't want to run too long and give up any time. And they just told Hamlin they're going to try to take advantage of this clean air and run a little bit longer than everybody else. So Hamlin, for the second stage in a row, looks like he's going to run long. It paid off in the first stage. So the long run strategy for Dennis once again. And looks like Larson will be doing the same because all the Hendrick cars pitted except for Larson, and he's up to second now.
split screen right there. Denny Hamlin go around Ryan Whiting, but it's not going to take long. Those new tires to take effect. And
5 back to the 24 with tires. Clear. 12 and 24 going to be together here with tires. Side 24. Side 24. And back to the
I kind of expected a more treacherous race than Vegas because I was really taken back by how chaotic Vegas was, and I was like, man, Homestead's got even less grip, and so far only one car's busted their ass. Bell was the one who spun out and brought the one caution. I kind of maybe at the end of some of these even longer runs, you'll see more of that because everybody's pitting 30 to 35 laps, and then they got to run like 40 to 50 after that. And Bell spun out late on the last run, so maybe it'll happen again. Still don't know how the fucking second biggest form of auto racing in North America gets to air on Fox, but the biggest form of auto racing in the United States and North America has to air on FS1. But that's another story. Also, it's really stupid to have these races going on at the same fucking time. The Cup race could have started at like 1 o'clock and at least gotten out of the way, for most of the IndyCar race. There was going to be some overlap, but we could have started at 1. Like we used to. 12:30, 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock's great, but that 12:30 start time would hit like crack, honestly. Denny is pitting this time. This time, they say on the radio. Do not speed, Dennis. I'm pulling for you. Oh, Daniel Suarez just wrecked on the pit road. This is great for Hamlin. If a yellow was to come out like now, it would be fantastic. But there's no yellow. Suarez got it together. Okay. Suarez just spun out getting on the pit road, but he got it turned around and drove on. That was close. There you go. Somebody busted their ass late in the run on tires trying to get to pit road. Another dumb Suarez mistake. Your weekly dumb Suarez mistake. Last week, his only mistake cost him the race. Ugh. Hey, we're only 7 laps from halfway, boys and girls. The old Joey almost caught the break he needed when Suarez spun there, but that Logano luck doesn't really go into overdrive until late in the season. So close to chaos.
P10, 37 to go. 37 to go. Here on the bottom.
We good for Darlington. You've still been gatekeeping Charlotte tickets, but trying to wait. Cowboy says he's definitely coming. He says he's coming. I haven't bought Darlington tickets yet, but we're going to be going. I'm holding out. They're going to come down just a little bit more. I'm waiting for a slightly better deal. But I was checking them out the other day, and it looks good. Darlington's going to happen. But Cowboy, if you're listening, you need to confirm. Dylan wants to know for sure if you're in this stream. Speak now, forever hold your penis. He says he's coming. They just mentioned the sun coming in and out. I talked about that earlier, where it's just got to be a fucking. If you're a car that's struggling to run top 10, top 15, you're like, what the fuck do I do? It's sunny for a few minutes and it's cloudy. The only reason I'm going back to Charlotte this year is because the ticket price came back down to normal. So that's the only reason I'm going to Charlotte. I was like, if it's like this again next year, fuck it, I ain't going. But the ticket price came back down to normal. So I'm more than willing to go to Charlotte. Excuse me. We are past the halfway mark. I think Denny Hamlin will finish fifth in this stage. If it stays green, I think Denny will finish fifth. Hell, he might get to third, maybe fourth.
He's definitely doing a good job of keeping his
Denny's going to get the most out of this. I promise you that.
pit, so he's having to go back to the track that
We know, just like we saw in that first run, right? In the first stage, those guys really progressed there in the closing laps of the stage. Larson in particular. So keep an eye on Hamlin and Larson as they progress.
and you still got about 28 laps to go in this stage. And Denny Hamlin's about nine and a half seconds back. He was about 3.5 seconds back on the leader when that cycle started. So we'll see how much ground he can make up over these next several laps.
Ryan Blaney's now led just about as many laps as he has the last 2 years here. Still there. He's second both times. Still out there. Penske now still there. 2-3 in laps here this season. Leading about three. When you have three. It's about three. You're all good here. You gotta start looking. Where's his left hook coming from?
Well, after the time wasn't yesterday, and they started restart there again. It's funny.
Only thing on equal tires is a 5, but he can also push
The
a
race
9
that he
now.
absolutely dominated. So you know how this is when you're in this position. It seems like everything's going right. The other part is it's hard to keep up with your car because you're just kicking it. It's fun to lead laps and difficult to keep up with the racetrack sometimes.
Ryan Blaney's stats there. The whole Penske team with 3 of them, only one top 5 finish between them in the 5 races so far this year.
Well, think about if you added Josh Berry into that lineup. Penske Racing shop that the Will brothers have, and you hear right there, Austin Cindric starting to shift right there.
Cindric is fifth.
Shifting going into turn 3 as the smoke goes on, and a lot of Niagara Motorsports, and it was tight in a place like
I think Cindric's already on track to win my most improved award this year because Cindric is consistently good these days. So good, I bet on him 2 weeks in a row and got burned by shit that wasn't his fault. Denny's up to fifth. Okay, I changed my mind. Denny's going to finish like third in the stage. He's a little quicker than I thought.
Clear, clear. Nice work. 24 more, 63, 24 more.
Blaney, Byron, Bubba, Bowman, Hamlin. Kyle Busch, a solid 32nd at one of his better racetracks. Can we just delete RCR and replace them with a more competent race team that can actually take advantage of the driver that they have? Prime Kyle Busch was an animal. I'll say he's past his prime, but still great. But prime Kyle Busch was nasty. next week? Martinsville next week. Martinsville. I do want to go to the playoff Martinsville race at the end of the year. I don't mind skipping the spring race, but I would like to go to the playoff Martinsville race again. Denny Hamlin for fourth. Couldn't quite clear the 48, but he's there. Bowman just taking advantage of running that higher line. The leap forward Bubba and Byron have taken this run is pretty good, worth noting. Bubba and Byron are getting better and better as the race goes on, just like Hamlin is. Excuse me. One thing to keep in mind about a race like this, yes, it's been green a long ways. It's not been that exciting. But the lack of attrition means that if something happens to one of these guys in the top 10, they stand a pretty good chance of not even finishing top 30 because everybody's still running because nobody's wrecked their shit and nobody's stuff is broken down. They must have switched Bubba and Reddick's cars.
Well, we know how good he is at this racetrack, and today it has just not been in his game. You see him come down the
They must have switched their cars.
they want to dig in that high ground, so you got to do something different. But he's definitely not been in the game at all today.
Wood Brothers Racing just posted, well, now we're back here watching John Hunter Nemechek block for 50th. And then the smart, well, if you guys were fast, you wouldn't be back there. And it's like, actually, they were top 5 and got wrecked on pit road. So yeah, the 21's fast. They just got some damage and lost their track position. So yeah, now they're back there with fucking John Hunter Nemechek racing like an ass for 50th. The Wood Brothers Twitter account is really funny. I hope whoever runs their social media has, a good pay rate. They deserve it. So I said, can anybody explain why Kyle Busch is 30th? And somebody said, yeah, he's driving a tub of shit for RCR. That's why. Be right back. Denny Hamlin is fourth with 11 laps to go. Noah Gregson's good day fell off. He's 17th. Wah, wah, wah. Yep, Blaney's going to add to the B's, but what if it's Bubba? Blaney, Byron, or Bubba? You got a point there. Hamlin can see Bubba Wallace not far in front of him for third place. So Denny didn't gain enough to beat Blaney. Hell, he's going to lose a spot in the long run, but he's still going to be top three. I don't know if I'd want to do that run long strategy in the final stage. I wouldn't want to do it. But hell, Larson's racing. Now Hamlin and Larson are racing for position, so Bubba might be able to hold on here for third. Forgot Larson's on the same strategy as Hamlin. They both ran long. Well, lap traffic has created a battle for the lead. And Hamlin is passing Bubba. He held off Larson and passed Bubba for third. Now, Hamlin didn't have trouble passing Bubba. He had trouble when Larson got to his inside and kind of slowed him down for a lap and a half, 2 laps. Goddamn, Denny might win the fucking stage. I didn't quite realize just how much Blaney and Byron are getting fucked by this lap traffic. They have hit a snag here with the 34. And there's still 7 to go. So you better pay attention because here we are. Is that Chastain? Chastain and old Gilliland. Yeah, Custer, Chastain, and Gilliland have. And Riley Herbst is in there too. But I know Chastain and Gilliland are being the real pain in the ass right now. Blaney got to the outside of Gilliland finally. One down, now he's got to deal with fucking Ross, and Denny Hamlin is second. I didn't think Hamlin would get that close. Underestimated the lap traffic because we really haven't had to. Blaney hasn't had any trouble at all today with anything, really. Ross is really loose. Blaney, I would just go to his inside because he's loose. He's loose and he's going to run the top to protect. I would have just went to his inside there. But Blaney insists on staying up high and being in that dirty air. So here we go. Hamlin is there. And Hamlin's going to go to the inside. He's going to go where they're not. And follows Blaney in there and out. Well, Larson's the one who goes to the inside. I knew Blaney wouldn't be able to just run away like this the whole day. Woo, big run off the top. Sweeps to the inside for Hamlin. 4 to go. 3 wide with a lapper. And Hamlin's going to take the lead. Slot a big assist to Todd Gilliland and Ross Chastain. That got Denny Hamlin this lead. And because Denny's got the fresher tires and Larson does too, they're definitely going to beat Blaney here. So never mind, I like that. Whoa, Larson. At least one Gibbs car has their shit together. Because Briscoe fell off. He was top 5 early in the race. 2 to go for Dennis James Hamlin. When they're back on equal tires, though, can they beat Blaney? They had a little bit of an edge there. The lap traffic raced Blaney hard to stay on the lead lap, and they've got 10 lap fresher tires. So they had an edge there, but on equal tires, can they beat Blaney? That remains to be seen. 1 to go. Larson's going to have one good shot at Denny here. As Cole Custer switches lines to try to fuck with Hamlin, because Hamlin went kind of middle to low, so Custer went low. Larson got a great turn too there. Denny will tell you he's allergic to stage wins, and the 41's fucking mirror driving him. 41's mirror driving. Hamlin's car's wobbling, and a run off the corner to the line. It's Hamlin. That top line was just enough to get Hamlin the stage win, even though he was in the 41's dirty air for the entire corner. And Cole Custer stays on the lead lap. Good for him. I'm assuming he's still on the lead lap, or was he going 2 down? He's pretty fucking slow, so I don't know. There you go. An actual race. I told you you'd get racier. Denny was going to get cucked there at the end. Well, at least you know that damage ain't really a big deal for Larson. As I predicted, the closer he got to the front, the better it was. I mean, the tire advantage helped, but can they beat Blaney on equal tires?
And goes on, and I'm like, what the hell just happened? Never nothing after the fact, never a sorry, hey, my bad. And like same thing right now. It's just like he has to find on one thing.
Kyle Busch is burying Carson Hocevar.
We'll join Kevin every Tuesday and Thursday for the most outspoken podcast in NASCAR. Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour presented by Echo Park Automotive. You heard Kyle Busch there using Hocevar and Problem right in very close proximity there.
Well, that's what happens when you got a new guy that's fast, right?
Yeah.
Like, Kyle's been there. I've been there. It's a scenario that you just have to deal with when there's new guys on the racetrack, and you feel like they're invading
Kyle Busch out here riding around on Sunday afternoon.
You want to prove that you're fast, and you want to put yourself in a position to stand your ground. So definitely interesting to hear some history right there.
I feel like Kyle has had a pretty good year up until this race. This is the first race. Well, I mean, they obviously had a shitty race last week, but they were fast. They've been fast to good for the whole year up until today, and now they've hit a brick wall and they're fucking 30th.
Some fellows we thought could be players. Logano, Chastain, Bell, and Bush are all one lap down right now.
Yeah, Chastain had some trouble on that run. He was 18th and fell all the way back to 30th, being the first one to pit road.
They should open the pits this time. Here they come around turn 2. Watching from our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, celebrating 100 years of American icon, the Goodyear Blue. Denny Hamlin leading from Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, William Byron, and Bubba Wallace. They've all had a chance at the front spot today. Alex Bowman, then Cindric, Elliott, Hosar, and Reddick. The drivers who scored stage points. Now, Joey Logano did stay in the free pass position because Hamlin did not lap Cole Custer coming to the line. So Logano will get the free pass. Here come the leaders, Jamie.
And Denny Hamlin leads them off. First stage win of the season. Said better grip late exit there. So they're trending in the right direction. Another air pressure adjustment. Second gear.
Denny beat Blaney out. But Larson is the leader. Wow, Blaney lost a lot of spots. Holy shit. Larson, Hamlin, Byron, Bubba, Bowman, Cindric, Elliott, Reddick, Blaney back to 9th. This is going to be a challenge Blaney hasn't had to face all day. Not being on the front row.
When you get there, I got an Elgin outside of you here. The 22, the dog, is about 30 back, trying to come to you.
reached 2. He has 3 wins here. That's tied for the most in the history of this racetrack. So we have the Hendrick, you have Hamlin entering, you have Blaney. Who are you keeping an eye on?
Well, strategy has got both Hamlin and Larson to the front. They seem to have the best cars on the long run. Ryan Blaney finds himself a little bit behind right now. It's going to be interesting to see, can he work through traffic? He struggled with that at the end of that stage.
Pit strategy, pit mistakes, and who has the fastest? Let's go back to Mike.
Thanks, Chris. Well, pit road has been an interesting place on this round of stops. Ryan Blaney came in third and came out ninth. Here's his radio.
Check the left front, the 9 destroyed it. Say sorry, I cleared him up. Got hit in the left rear a little bit too bad the 19. Not getting absolutely destroyed by the 9. I don't think it's classified or nothing.
So a whole lot of not good there. Speaking of the 9, he has a pit entry violation. We'll get to that in a minute. Here's a look at Blaney.
That just pulled straight out with Blaney coming on with momentum, but look how much it slowed him down. Just keeps compiling worse and worse. Then he loses 6 spots on pit road.
Definitely not destroyed, though. I think that might have been a little bit
Frustration.
a little bit of frustration.
Now there's that damage on Kyle Larson's car from earlier.
94 to go
Not sure how much of an effect that will have.
Well, not much.
No, not so far. And Chase Elliott will restart at the back for a pit entry violation. Under caution, you must enter pit road single file. There's their radio.
Just have them look at it. I gave the spot back. They all checked up. Moved left and not run in the back.
So they penalized Chase for going to the left of another car on pit road. So that probably killed his race. Whatever race he had going.
I don't think it matters if you give it back. If you didn't enter single file, you didn't enter single file. Kevin, short run speed really hasn't been in the 5's favor. It'll be interesting if he can hold off the 11. Really
Rain. Good restart by everybody on the front row. Old Briscoe. Get that car out in clean air, Larson. Blaney's going to have to fight in this stage to get this race back. I don't know if they can. Blaney did not get a good restart. Blaney's 11th. Yum. And Bubba Wallace, second. Whoop. Oh, yeah. Right. Guys, get your excuses ready. Bubba only passed Larson because Larson's got that hole in the left door. Bubba's going to get the lead. There you go. Go, Bubba. Prove me right, Bubba. I said you'd win this race. He was my pick. See you later. All right, go green. I'm good with this. Go green. Bubba didn't just get the lead; he's driving away.
Or we make mistakes. We saw it happen last week at Vegas. So the game plan coming in, finish this race.
Whole different scenario for Blaney. Finally, some cars in front of him that weren't lap traffic, Kevin. Way different scenario.
And that's the tough part about dominating these races early in the first half of the race. Well, we talked about this earlier. It's hard to keep up with the changes on your car. And now
I wish I had about 5 or 6 Popeyes biscuit because the one I had was so good.
so now that traffic, it puts you behind on the adjustments on your car from the rest of the day.
You asked me a lot more out of your car, too. Having to lean on them tires a lot harder than you did out there in the clean air, making these passes as he passes, making his way around Byron.
So Blaney up to fifth.
All these things stack up.
But he's still got a fast car. He just needs to be patient, Keith. He's right in the middle. The leader's right there. Bubba Wallace a little out in front of these guys, but he's still in the mix. Don't get impatient. We're going to have to make another pit stop. There's a lot of things to happen between now and the end of the race. Take care of that car.
Blaney's doing a good job here. Blaney's still a factor.
See what it was like.
But I think the other thing that's sticking out here is Tyler Reddick. Bubba Wallace's teammate Tyler Reddick he must have had a good restart because his speed is not where it needs to be right now. Jamie?
Often, Kevin, you hear us talk about tear-offs during the pit stops. Well, Tyler Reddick, when he came in, they went to grab a tear-off and pull it. He didn't get it all the way off, and it was backed out. He's not concerned about it, but this is what it looks like. He's got a vision like this, basically not a clear line. He gets a lot of that dirt and rubber buildup. So this is important for the clarity, but the 45 didn't get it this time.
You see the bubbles that are right there.
He's going to lose 7 spots. Austin Cindric here, and for the lead. Excuse me. For fourth place. Earlier it was the lead, and
Yeah, that's
they started up front.
That's an easy one overlooked there. Every other pass has been for the lead. I'll tell you what, don't count that guy out. Never count a good man out, man. He is rolling, still has that speed. He'd still have this lead in my opinion.
I was kind of rooting for Larson to do the triple this week.
And the driver's a little bit frustrated and a little bit mad. To me, that's when you kind of get
You have to be named Kyle to win all 3 races in a weekend.
a little bit more just because you're a little bit angry
He was almost 3 tenths quicker than the leader that lap.
in traffic. Brian Blaney's car is always good on the long run. We've documented this before, but he turns the wheel less. His car is freer, and that really plays to his benefit when he's in traffic. At a place like Homestead, where traffic is super tough, when everybody gets up against the wall and line sensitive, it gives him more options than most people have on a week-to-week basis.
The other part of that impresses me about Blaney is usually when I hear somebody say that or I experience that with a long run speed, it comes at the expense of something, right? Short run speed. And for him, he's able to do very aggressive on restarts with a free race car, which is extremely hard to do and still have the long run speed. Brian Blaney.
All right, Larry, is your calculator burning overtime?
I'm telling you,
Why is Hocevar pitting?
there could be 3.
Is he going to do the 2-stop strategy?
But let's go down to Regan Carson Hocevar first.
Oh, no, they got the hood up on Hocevar. Never mind. He's not on a 2-stop strategy.
On the radio call a few moments ago said I'm losing power. They're going to check the alternator on the car. Unfortunately,
Bad break for the 77. Good news for everybody else because then you won't have to race him as hard.
Yeah, Mike, there could be 3 potential strategies here. We know that Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson, they didn't split it in half. That means they have to run 47 laps to run, which will put them pitting around lap 220. Now, if you do what a lot of them been doing and you come a little early, you're going to come around somewhere around lap 213 to 215. The numbers show it's not the way to go, but you could split the stages in thirds. That means you would have to run about 30 to 32 laps to run. You know what? If you're desperate,
I was going to say, the only people that should split the stage into thirds are back half of the top 10 or outside the top 10. I think the contenders for this race need to pit once. And a few of them are just going to split it in half, and some are going to pit on the short side of the run.
81 laps to go at Homestead Miami Speedway. Bubba Wallace is now
But Bubba Wallace is your leader.
10 laps with a half-second lead over Kyle Larson.
Ryan Blaney is third, and he is coming. Ain't nothing better than a Popeye's chicken sandwich. The best part about this Popeye's chicken sandwich is that I've got another one. Somebody's going to spin for 25th with 5 laps to go. That'll be the only caution we get. Denny said his car doesn't feel as good as it did earlier, and it's kind of showing. I'm still on Denny's camera. I think I'm going to switch to Bubba's now. I started the race with Bubba. I'm going to go back to him. We have not established a driver cam jinx yet, so I think I can safely watch Bubba's camera.
It has kind of settled the fate of a number of our competitors who find themselves a lap down at this point. And there's a
Not
bunch of
Chase Briscoe. I clicked on Bubba Wallace, you twat.
Gilliland, Van Gisbergen, and Bell, 1 lap down.
Go to the 23 car.
Cody Ware down 2, and JJ Hill just made a stop. He is down 3. Carson Hocevar's taking
Oh
his
my
second
God.
plunge.
Well, they're running him down now, Kevin. That's a lot faster lap times from Larson and Blaney.
Yeah, I don't think Bubba's going to hang on here. I know Blaney's better, but Larson's been better all day too. So this was a nice thought to see Bubba get up here and have a chance. And he's still got a chance, but that's going to be a tough thing to do, hold them off.
Tyler Reddick back in 7th, not happy with his car.
Reddit's complaining about being slow early in the run. So slow that by the end of the run, it doesn't matter if he's better because he's already given up so much time.
3 seconds back of the leader.
Yeah, he restarted 7th, and he kind of got up into that top 5 mix with a good restart. Definitely doesn't like the way that his car handles at the beginning of these runs.
Back to the boards and coming.
But I think Kyle Larson knows.
I can hear Clint Boyer clenching his fist every lap that Bubba Wallace leads here.
Blaney has a better car than him right now, so anything that he can do to play defense and keep that 12 car behind him or get around this 23 car, but ever since that moment, Blaney's kind of fallen back a little bit. It's the interesting part about Homestead. You make a mistake, the car slides, the car pushes, pass somebody, get repassed. There's just this interesting dynamic of always searching for the grip as Larson basically just lays up on the wall right there and drives around the corner.
Well, it's time. We're 30 laps into this run, and that's when that outside line right on the wall seems to start prevailing. That's what you see with the 5 cars. I think the 12 is being smart there, though. He's staying out of the wake of those 2 cars and kind of riding by the sign, taking care of those tires. And if he sees Larson get to Wallace and get sideways, he might be there to pounce on him. At this point, it's all about saving your tires and management.
And you say that though, when you want to save the tires here. You just don't want to slide the car. You want to go as fast as it'll go without sliding the back tires. There's really
And how do you do that? It's in the wake of that car in front of you. Take the downforce off your car. It'll be a lot harder on the tires for him to make up the difference.
this is what Larson did last time. He really messed Blaney up. He drove down the racetrack in the middle of the corner, took that nose out from underneath him, and got the back end sliding around.
Reddick trying to come back on Byron here. This is for 6th place.
Something had to happen to Blaney on pit road to make this race interesting.
Here's a look at what's around the turn on Fox. The NHRA Arizona Nationals are next on FS1. And the NASCAR Cup Series has
Big deal. Driving in a straight line. Who cares? I'm kidding.
Eastern time. And IndyCar will be back in action at Long Beach, on the streets of Long Beach, Sunday, April 13th on Fox.
Can't quite get a good enough run out of him. It seems like the slide jump works better in 1 and 2 than it does in 3 and 4. You can get up beside him off the floor and get that run. See the big run he gets off the 2? Needs to try to do that, get into 3. Might go.
Bubba's doing a great job hanging on to this. Blaney's kind of stalled out. Larson's the one pressuring for the lead.
Right sides or the left sides.
They've got some distance back to Blaney.
Most. But if he can just maintain right here and put
Bubba's camera just cut off on my Max. Now it's back.
talking about 1 and 2, much easier to make that happen down there.
They were resetting the simulation.
Watch the run he gets off the 2. Gives up a little bit, entry, first half of the corner, and then here he comes.
I mean, it looks like he's running 20 miles an hour faster through the middle of the corner.
Wallace up high to take the air off of Larson. They both enter high. So does Blaney.
It's a timing thing for me watching this. I think he just needs to get his timing right, catching right, where he has some momentum off the floor and get the pass done down here in 1 and 2.
Yeah, and it's so interesting. You have to lift really
Goddamn, I am full after eating that sandwich. Those 2 sandwiches.
lift a little bit again and then put the throttle down for the rest of the exit of the corner.
Woo, I'm full.
Once you feel like the back of the car or the front of the car has the right amount of grip.
The only chicken sandwich I can get full by eating 2 of them.
When you're running that high line, almost throttle back up for the end of the first 30.
I love the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, but I never get full eating those.
Here in 3 and 4, right up on the wall where Larson wants to be, and he's not really slow there.
Yeah, just don't get wrapped.
Popeyes will have you going, man, I never want to eat again.
Do what you're doing. Don't worry about where he is. You've got the track position.
I like the line he's running in 1 and 2. See how much time he beats him in the first half of the corner? He's going to come back up on him, but he doesn't catch him with enough momentum to do anything.
Bubba's doing such a good job. But I bet they fucking screw it up on pit road, or he screws it up on pit road, or lap traffic fucks him. I don't know. We'll see. These 3 cars right here are under a blanket for the lead is pretty wild. Considering Blaney had a 10-second lead in stage 1, it's pretty crazy. We are in the fuel window. Caution.
Fucking go, baby. Good job. Really, really good right now.
And Bubba said he's fucking hot because he thinks the car is great. So now everybody's going to pit here, and if it goes green, you're running to the end because
Yes, sir. You're doing great.
we're in the fuel window. This will be the longest they'll have to have run on tires when they pit here, and if it goes green to the end. But yeah,
Against the wall on the floor.
they said somebody blew up or something off four.
That'll be a fun plane ride back.
Oh shit! It was Blaney. Bubba said, "Well, that's going to be a fun plane ride back." Oh man, did he wreck or blow up or what? He blew up. Oh my god, Blaney blew up. Oh my god. You've got to be shitting me, he says. Well, it's a whole new race now. I'd be happy to be running low coming off that corner that he blew up on because that had to be a messy fucking engine failure. Wow. When they said somebody, I didn't hear on Bubba's radio, I didn't decipher it. I blew up off of four. I said, oh, somebody blew up. It's just like, oh shit, it was Blaney.
Last year when they had multiple engine failures. So
That is a catastrophic engine failure, is what that is. That'll probably be a pretty long caution here. Remember that thing I said about there's been no attrition in this race? So if you fall out of the top 10, there's a good chance you finish 30th or worse. They're going to go from dominating the race. He's going to finish 37th, dead last. That's just the way his year's been going. They're not going to open pit road for a while. This is pretty messy. So probably going to pit and restart with under 50 to go.
That's 2 out of the last 3 races, and the only 4, as you pointed out, to blow up like that. In these last 3 races.
well, I know it's part of racing, but man, does it stink. It is the worst, and it never happens when your car's running like crap. It always happens when they're fast.
You say stink, literally, I smell the oil now. Just came into the booth. You smell that?
Hey guys, we're still on fire.
Yeah, they're going to be a while cleaning this one up. So with 58 laps to go, we'll take a break from Homestead Miami Speedway. I'll take you side by side. Welcome.
Still trying to 12 off pit road. I assume it'll be closed this time.
Where the roads don't have limits on how fast you can go,
Still closed. Still closed.
or the sights you're gonna see. Welcome to New
Yeah, pit road's going to be closed for a while.
Tires prepped and keep your brakes ready.
You think Denny's going to win? Is that your prediction? I'll take a Denny or a Bubba win, or honestly, just 23-11 or Denny. Bubba held the lead for a good 25-30 laps there in front of Larson and Blaney. That was a really impressive run. Hopefully they can keep it up and go win the damn thing. Remember that shit I said yesterday of this is why we don't turn the race off until it's over? You at least got to keep it on to the end. Denny Hamlin scrubbed the wall a little bit there, sliding through the Blaney fluid. Oh my God, some hot chicks in the crowd. Well, at least two of them are hot. Third one I couldn't quite tell. Two of those chicks pretty hot. Bubba's fucking the channel that's showing Bubba's on board is fucking terrible right now. It keeps cutting in and out. I'm gonna close Max and start about. I don't know. The camera was all glitchy and green and pink and pixelated, so maybe it's just Bubba's channel that's fucked up right now. But I want to ride along with him, so we're gonna try again.
Fourth caution of the day, and also latter speed limit by Blaney's engine would go, taking him from the race after he had led 100 pretty much all day. Jamie?
Yeah, it was a great day, and I just told Ryan if you didn't have bad luck, you have no luck at all these last few weeks. Ryan, what did you feel and see inside the car there?
Nothing. He said it blew up literally out of nowhere. Well, that's that. Larson's dudes are hard at work on the pit box, and Blaney's guys are actually helping him because Blaney dropped a lot of fluid around that area on pit road.
Third DNF of the season for Ryan Blaney, Mike.
Thanks, Jamie. Let's ride and listen.
Pit road is open this time. I bet that car was rigged to blow as soon as he took the checkered flag. It just blew up about 60 laps earlier than it should have. All right, this could be the money stop. If it goes green, this is it. And yes, there was some oil on pit road. Most of it got dumped on the track and on the access roads, but nice of Blaney's guys to help the five guys clean their box out. Bubba looks like he's going to win the race off pit road. Hell yeah. Bubba Wallace is still your leader. It's Bubba, Larson, Hamlin, Bowman, and Reddick 5th, and Cindric 6th. So the 23 guys nailed it. Hopefully that's the last time they have to stop today. Damn, Blaney's got 3 DNFs already.
Well, Kevin, we've got 54 to go right now. We'll restart with what
I think you want to go right off the bat. You have to try to get control of the race. I think that the 23 car is a little bit better than the other two guys on the restarts. I think Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin over the long run seem to be pretty even
Austin Cindric and William Byron too fast on pit road. They were both top 10, so that's devastating.
Well, pit road, we knew it would be
All right, it'll be 50, 51 laps to go, and we got 3 sets of stickers left playing. And make sure you get your front tires prepped and ready for the restart.
seventh most narrow pit on the NASCAR circuit. Narrow pit road, that is.
Not as narrow as Indianapolis. And you think the Indy pit road's narrow? It used to be even more narrow. They actually widened it out a little bit. They took the pit wall that the crews stand on and moved it in sometime back in the 90s. So it used to be more narrow. And then they had to widen the pit boxes when NASCAR started racing there.
He's gained them back all day. He's done a really good job today. His car's handling well. Look for him to gain some of those.
AJ's having a good year. I said that early in the race. I like what I see. The 16 car is much, much better and by far the best Colin car. Bubba takes the inside, Larson outside, Hamlin inside, Bowman outside.
If we go green to the end, this will be the longest run of the day. And how about the numbers? The 23, 906.
Yes, note, if we go green all the way, this will be the longest anybody's run on a set of tires, and you will run this set of tires to the end if it does go green. Bubba's got the boss man lined up on his bumper. That can help him on this restart, hopefully.
So they have to restart tail end of the longest line anyway.
Fact, they were lowering the back of that car down a little bit, Kevin. Round out of the right rear, half round out of the left rear.
Yeah, and that's hard to get that right here. You want the back of the car as low as you can to get the diffuser as low as you can to the car, but we've heard some of the drivers talk about the bumps and things, and so the lower that you can make that and have the stops right, the more downforce it's going to make.
Player in the first 3 rows, Chris Buescher.
Alternator
He's
on.
the highest Ford in this race. He is in 6th. Chase Briscoe 7th. Noah Gragson 8th. Dillon and Allmendinger fill the top 10. Ahead of Priest, McDowell, and Haley. So Jimmy Player's up toward the front.
This is exactly what we've been watching with Busher. Just steady Eddie, and all of a sudden here at the end, right in position.
Well, I'm fucking nervous. I don't know about y'all. I'm very nervous. Man, Larson and Bowman nailed that restart, didn't they? Oh, Denny, why? That put Bubba in a really bad spot. Well, Denny cut him a break. Denny looked like he was going to take him 3 wide and then cut him a break. So Bubba's actually going to come off turn 2 with the lead here, and they're 3 wide behind him. Momentum on the top with the 48. Good job, Bubba. Way to overcome it. Remember how good Bowman is early in a run. That's been pretty consistent through the race. Bowman fires off really good. He's definitely a threat to win. I like seeing Larson drop a little bit here because I feel like Larson would be the biggest threat to Bubba for the win. So I'd like to see Larson fade a little bit here. 50 to go. Bubba just said, tried to give that away. Bubba said he restarted in the wrong gear and almost gave it away. But Denny cut him a huge break in turn 1. Denny could have stayed on his inside 3 wide, and that would have probably killed it. Oh, Denny sliding up the track. Oh, hang on. Oh, whoa. Nearly hooked himself on. He aggressively cleared himself in front of Larson and almost got turned for it. He was not quite clear, but didn't get wrecked somehow. Goddamn, Bubba. Drive on, Bubba. Drive on.
This is the run Chase Briscoe needed in an NFL start. We were talking about this in the pre-race show. This kid in this new ride has had a little bit of trouble, a little bit of rough start here, but man, solid run right here is just what the doctor wanted as a team.
I'd be telling Bubba, you got a nice gap. Take it easy. Do whatever you can to save what you got. Just maintain. This race has had a lot of long green flag runs, and we're hoping for another here. Hamlin's starting to struggle for some reason. I see why he was aggressively mirror driving the 19 the lap before, because Briscoe's pretty fast and just passed him. Goddamn, Austin Dillon's 8th. Did him and Kyle Busch switch cars? Austin Dillon's 8th. Ryan Preece 11th. Justin Haley and Zane Smith 12th and 13th. Bubba only won because Blaney blew up. Like I say, get your excuse, whatever excuses you want to give people. You better start preparing them. I'm just deathly quiet right now because I'm anxious. Coming to 43 to go. Restarted in third gear, he said. Ryan Preece, top 10 yet again. Third week in a row. Good races for Preece. A lot of parity in the top 10 from 10th to 1st. RFK, Colleague, 2311. RCR, RFK, Gibbs, Hendrick, 2311. Penske has fallen off. Obviously, Logano got wrecked on pit road. So did Barry. Blaney blew up. Cindric had a speeding penalty. So their day went sour. They told him they better not pass Bubba. They better let him in. You see how Denny helped him out there on that restart? Get your excuses ready, people. We're only 40 laps away. Everybody behave and stay green. Get this thing nice and strung out. I want it to be boring for 40 more laps. I'm making the mistake of already daydreaming about what I'll do on social media if Bubba wins. Really, this will be Bubba's second win of the year. Damn, Larson's choking and he's not even the leader.
I've been trying to keep track of that. That was 17 through 20 right there, Clint.
No, the judges, go back to the judges. Only counts as one.
At the Chili Bowl, it only counts. It doesn't matter how many times you roll over. It only counts as one flip.
Just because you do it 17 times doesn't mean you get 17 flips out of it. That's one time. This side of this car is going to be central, though.
Well, it started in practice.
Ty Gibbs is hoping for a good day. He stayed on the lead lap pretty much all day. He's back in 25th right now, 10 seconds off the lead. Battery Bush Keselowski. 4 races ago, Kansas, September of 2022. He's got a 3/4 second lead on Alex Bowman.
Can't say enough about Alex Bowman. They have taken care of business this weekend.
Bowman's starting to catch Bubba here. It went from over a second. He's gained 3/10 or so. I guess I better start paying attention to these lap times on the leaderboard here. I'm trying to will a Bubba Wallace win into existence by mostly ignoring the race. But Bowman just ran a 33.9 and Bubba's running 34.1s. Bubba picked it up 33.9, but Bowman ran a 33.8, so Bowman still gained that lap. And it shows he's got it down to almost half a second.
Tries to take the measure of him here for 7th place. At one of Bowman's best racetracks, it's definitely A.J. Allmendinger's best racetrack. Tied for the best average finish here.
Ty Gibbs is not the best owner's grandson, and he's not even the best Ty in the Cup Series. You're right. Ty Dillon's actually having a quietly solid year. Top 20 is good for Ty Dillon. He's 20th. He had a good race at Phoenix. He's top 20 today. Well, he was. Byron just passed him because Byron's roaring back through the field after the penalty. 34.1 again for Bubba. 33.9 for Bowman. Under half a second now. And there you go. Bowman to the inside of Bubba, really putting the heat on for the lead. Oh, Bubba couldn't stay in it off of 2. Stay on him, Bubba. Aggressive. Don't give him a fucking inch. Now run your line. You got the better line. 48 got it. Alex Bowman is the leader with 32 to go. That exit of turn 2 over there is what cost Bubba here. Let's see if he can get it back or catch a yellow, one or the other. I don't know about Bubba running the bottom. He's got to go down there because that's where Bowman's leaving him a line, but damn. Let's hope for some help from lap traffic. Briscoe bounced off the wall behind him. He's not going to be much of a threat for a while. With pressure from Larson. They're 2 seconds back. Damn, Allmendinger's 7th. Just past Tyler Reddick and Austin Dillon. Wow. Hey guys, Christopher Bell's finally back on the lead lap. You could tell Bowman was just a tick faster than Bubba, sometimes two ticks, and then Bubba had one really bad lap, and that was it. So now we wait. Yet again, we are in wait mode. It's hard to pass somebody back today once they've passed you, but Bubba's making a run at it. He picked up 2/10 that lap. Bubba was 3/10 quicker than Bowman that lap. Bowman ran 34.6, Bubba 34.3. And they're telling Bubba that the 48 has a tendency to fall off a little bit late in the run. He's going to come back to you, so just stay with it. And I'm watching Bubba's onboard. He's right behind him. And that was a 3/10 different the last lap. I don't know if it'll be that this lap because Bowman looks like he got off two a little better. That time Bowman was a little quicker, I think, because this Hamlin-Larson battle is intriguing me. Las Vegas or Homestead, AJ Allmendinger will have a good race, no matter what he's driving, it seems. Bowman's kind of stretched it out a little bit now. Still only about half a second, give or take. I'm hoping what they told Bubba's true and that Bowman's car falls off just enough to be the difference here. 25 to go this time. So if Bowman wins, did you think Bowman would be the first Hendrick car to win a race this year? Well, no, never mind. Byron won Daytona. Daytona doesn't even feel like it was real. The first to win on a real racetrack, Alex Bowman. In reference to that Bubba Wallace comment earlier, I'm not hearing a whole lot of Alex Bowman shouldn't drive the 48 car anymore after today if he holds on and wins this. I'd be willing to bet. People have always been way too hard on Bowman because of the high standard that Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott set for HMS and how Byron's been right with them too. But Bowman has always been really consistent. Last year was his best season of his career. I know he only won the one race. The only reason he didn't make the round of 8 in the playoffs is because some fucking weight fell out of the car at the road course. So Bowman had a good year last year, a really good year. So I don't buy into the whole, oh, to replace Bowman horse shit because I don't know where that even came from. Well, I would bet you money that Briscoe, Larson, Hamlin, and Buescher and Reddick will be really good at Darlington. I can pretty much guarantee that. Bowman's got about a second lead now. It's really starting to open up, unfortunately. Briscoe is creeping into the picture here. Your Southern 500 winner from last year, Chase Briscoe, creeping in here. And good for Briscoe. I've been really hard on him. The way people have been hard on Bowman for no reason, I've been hard on Briscoe. I like seeing guys prove me wrong. I root for guys to prove me wrong. It would be really boring if I was always right. So go Briscoe. Good for you. Bubba's got a new problem trying to hold on to second place. That 19's fast. Honestly, just mirror drive the 19 and make him pass you anywhere but the top. 20 to go. We're going into uncharted territory as far as tires are concerned. Harvick just mentioned that. Nobody's run 50 plus laps today on a set of tires. Nobody's really done more than 40. 40 was like the max for almost everybody except Stenhouse. Stenhouse in the first stage went pretty long. Austin Dillon in the process of trying not to choke away a top 10. Did they just tell Bubba the 5 car hit the wall? I feel like they said that on the radio. That was a good lap for Bubba. Creeped in a little bit there on the 48. It went from 1.1 seconds down to like 8 tenths. That's a gain. The gap is fluctuating between half a second to a second. Although, hell, if Larson hit the wall, it ain't slowing him down none. He's catching back up to these guys. Okay, yeah, Larson ran a 34.5, and they're all running 34.8s and 7s. Bowman ran a 34.6, but, yeah, Larson's pretty fast. But as Harvick said, they're all running the same fucking line. This could be a great finish. They're close enough for it to get together and be a good finish. All 4 of these cars. Larson again. 34.4. They all ran 34.8s and Larson ran a 34.4 and just slide job Briscoe and won and made the clean pass for third. So this is going to be Bowman versus Larson, I have a feeling. Credit to the 48 guys. They made their car better for the long run. They weren't bad on the long run. They just weren't as good as the other contenders until it really mattered here, and they've been pretty good. We love racing here. I love racing here. Even if we get rid of a playoff format where there's one race for a championship, this should still be the last race of the year. if they're going to go to the whole Final Four, have a 3 week playoff, which I would prefer if we're going to do playoffs. It should be 3 races, not one. Homestead should be the last race. Most points among the Final Four and the final 3 races is champion. That's what it should be if we just have to keep a playoff format. By the way, Justin Haley's in the top 10. We got Ryan Preece and Justin Haley in the top 10. I'm so happy. Preece is having a great year. I think even if Blaney was up front, it would still be like this, Dylan, because he kind of fell off. Once he lost the lead, he was as good as them, but it kind of equaled out. I think we would still be seeing the same race right now if Blaney didn't blow up, because Blaney was running third when he blew up. And if you're Bubba, you might as well let that 5 car go. You might as well let him go. Let him go and have him run down to 48. And when they start fucking with each other, I know they're teammates, but they will race hard for this. Maybe you can take advantage. 10 to go. Bowman ran a 35-0. Larson a 34-6. Larson still significantly faster. So my early prediction, I said I wanted to bet money on Bubba, but at one point in the race I said a Penske car or a Hendrick car is going to win this race. Well, here you go. Bowman versus Larson. 10 to go. He was fast before he blew up, but remember, in stage 1 he had a 10-second lead, and then he lost stage 2. And never got farther ahead than maybe a second and a half in stage 2. So I think they were all catching up to Blaney. He was still probably the best car, but they had definitely caught up to him. I think we'd be seeing a very similar race here. I think it would be Larson running Blaney down. $35-0 for Bowman, $34-7 for Larson, still quicker. 8 to go. What a bounce back for Larson. I thought he was cooked after that restart. I thought the first half of this run kind of killed him off. So this is a pretty good comeback. The best thing, I would say mirror drive him, but Larson's been diving into the corner and just sliding up in front of guys and clearing them by like a car length. Like it's not been, he slide jobbed and just barely cleared. No, he's been clearing guys by a lot, just driving deep down the bottom into the corner. So I don't even think mirror driving him here is going to hurt none. He's just going to go to the bottom and pass you. He's going to run you down on the straightaway and then dive to your inside and try to slide up in front. You got to hope that he makes a mistake and gets greedy and tries to do it too soon. But of course, if he fucks that bad, which he has a tendency to do, it could take you out as well and hand this race right back to Bubba. This is not a... 48, scrubbing the wall. Oh, he can't get out of the wall. Bowman choked. Larson in the lead. Worst case scenario for the 23, because that wasn't even a battle. Bowman just slipped up and scrubbed the wall and handed it over to Larson. That couldn't have been any easier. Bowman made the mistake. Good recovery, but he ain't going to pass Larson back. Gordon sitting on the 48 pit box, laughing. He's like, I can't believe 48 just gave that away. He's still happy that Larson's going to win, but he can't believe the 48 gave that shit away. Jeff Gordon's like, I wouldn't have done that. Put Jeff Gordon in 48. He wouldn't have done that. Bowman blew our shot at a good finish. Wow, Larson really could have won all 3 races this week. Lionel would have sold the hell out of that diecast set, but he just had to fucking blow the Xfinity race. He'll blow the Xfinity race and take a cup win. I'm sure he would tell you that if you had to make a choice. That's all pretty obvious. Larson scrubbed the wall just a touch, but really didn't hurt him any. 3 to go. Bowman looked really slow through 1 and 2 that time. I didn't like that corner. Well, Kyle Larson, as Meatloaf said, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. 2 to go. Larson's lead got a lot bigger there. Boys, I think the 5 touched the fence again. It don't matter. His lead fucking grew by 2-3 tenths that lap. It's over a second now. One to go. Larson out front, fairly comfortably now. Not dominated the race, but he was pretty clutch. One more lap. I'm switching to his onboard because I like watching the post race on the onboard for the guy who wins. On my FS1, he's halfway down the back. On my Max, he just took the white flag. One more corner. Yeah, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. And Kyle Larson wins at Homestead. Alex Bowman second, Bubba Wallace third. Larson said, fuck yeah, guys. Holy shit. Holy Santa Claus shit. Justin Haley, Ryan Preece, Edge Allmendinger, top 10s. That was still a good race. We didn't know who was going to win until about 5 to go. I know Bubba's disappointed he didn't win, but I'm sure he's happy with the result. Losing to Kyle Larson's nothing new to these guys. I mean, we expect Larson to win more than he does. Anybody who says that was a bad race is a moron. That was a good race. It wasn't like a spectacular race. That was a good race. If people are complaining about a race where you didn't know who was going to win until inside 5 to go, you probably need to find something new to watch. Because that was a good race. That was just a clean race. Not every race is going to be Atlanta. That was just as good as Vegas was. It's just Vegas had more cautions, and that makes people happy because low IQ people like wrecks and cautions and restarts. Although they're fun, they're not necessary for a good race. This was as good as Vegas.
Takes a deep breath, Kyle. A lot of races here at Homestead. This one looked a little bit different today, though. You had to earn it at the end there. Didn't dominate it, got a long run. How were you able to put it on the boards and make it so perfect that last run?
It was far from perfect. I gave up a spot and a half, almost 2 spots there by getting the wall too many times. I knew I wasn't going to get the best restart there. I knew I wasn't good on the short runs, and
And hey, we got through a Florida race without a weather delay.
guy behind me.
That's a win.
I could get ring in the top and a 19 too, and I got in the wall and let him by. But just kind of had to keep plugging away at what I know and what's good for me. So just
3 lead changes on the final green flag run is allegedly a bad race to some people.
pretty hard work there today between damage on pit road.
Now, 5 years ago, they were all going the same speed, holding it full throttle all the way around the track because they had fucking 550 horsepower. At least you actually have to drive the cars now.
The heartbreak I had here, the heartbreak yesterday, and to just keep my head down and keep digging feels really good.
You mentioned all the heartbreak yesterday in different races here. As you get the lead there with roughly about 10 to go, what are you thinking? Are you just thinking no caution right now?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm thinking every time. That's what said. So yeah, just crazy. I knew me coming towards those guys.
Blame Bowman. He's the one who choked.
Mistake.
Oh, NASCAR Reddit's like the most toxic retard community I've ever seen. I'm glad I'm not a part of it.
There, and I got by him easier than I expected to. And
Fucking NASCAR Brain Rot ought to be the name of the Reddit.
really loose, just like those guys were. So hats off to the whole team.
Everybody's too biased and up their own favorite driver's ass or their own favorite team's ass to objectively look at a race.
Motor group, lots of Hendricks. So shout out to Daryl Jackson. I think you said you're gonna owe us a bottle of Pappy. So we'll go ahead and take that.
I think Owen's ready for a victory right here. Congratulations.
5 years ago, mile-and-a-half racetracks weren't watchable.
7 to go, Alex. Was it getting into the wall a little extra that did you in, or was there more to it?
Yeah, I guess I took that one away for sure.
Bowman just said he choked it away. He's got a point.
Saw the 5 coming, so moved
He was going to get beat anyway. He just gave it away a couple laps early.
past me. By the time before that, ended up just bending something enough that I lost a lot of right front feel, and then I pulled it off the wall too.
Larson damn near ran through him there. He couldn't get the car turned down to get underneath him.
That for this Ally 48 group, they deserve better than that, and just a couple mistakes there. Felt like we were okay all day. That last run was probably the best we were, but hats off to Ally and Blake and everybody for supporting this 48 team. Hate it for Mr. Hendrick.
Shout out to Bubba for wildly outperforming Tyler Reddick at Homestead. He outperformed his teammate at Homestead, who's probably the second best driver on this track when it comes to Homestead racing.
Miami finish. Yeah, Larson, Bowman, Wallace, and Briscoe each scored a personal best here. An entertaining race.
Yeah, it was entertaining for sure. And Kyle Larson did exactly what we thought he would do in winning, but he didn't dominate. He had a couple guys behind him, with Alex Bowman having a chance.
Yeah, the Pocono karma caught up 4 years later for Alex Bowman, and it gave the win to Larson. This was a good race. I don't know what fucking morons expect. I guess because there wasn't 30 cautions and 50 fucking restarts and 12 overtimes. The race was good and it played out naturally. There was no bullshit, no manufactured bullshit. The race played out. He had 3 lead changes on the final green flag run and didn't really know who was going to win until 5 to go. And then you're holding your breath wondering, is a caution going to come out? Because we've seen a lot of late cautions this season. And this is the first race this year where you really didn't have a late caution. I know Coda had a long run at the end, too.
Not up next to the wall like that all day, and boom, you make a mistake.
All right, let's join JB with Bubba Wallace.
Well, Bubba Wallace led 56 laps today, and he finished his third. I know it's not a win, but he needed to close the deal and finish the race as strong as you ran in the first 2 stages. How good was this one?
Oh, it was really good. I mean, we showed up here in Miami and had speed, and that's the first box you want to
The 2311 mile-and-a-half program is great.
we were that. We fired off in the race and just okay, and it really made me think of last 2 years, and we've just been average. So I was just praying for track position
I'm starting to think that third 2311 car is just a big waste of money because Riley Herb's just a rookie, so we got to give him a break. But goddamn, they're way off. 33rd on speed, while your two teammates are top 10. One of them nearly won.
Start that last run, I thought was very similar to the previous restart. But I don't know. I need to go back and study and look at what happened. Obviously, not hit the fence and allow the 48 to get there. But all in all, hats off to my 23 group here. It's been a grind all year long. I talked about we just get kicked in the teeth last stage of every race. So finally close one out. This feels good. I can't even hang my head over this. As pissed off as I want to be at myself, it's a good day. Thank you.
He wasn't going to win. Larson was going to win no matter what happened there. Even if Bowman and Bubba didn't make their mistakes, Larson was going to win this race.
Miami, a champion of 2021 with his first win of this season, the sixth race of the season with Jamie McRae. The Burpee Rover, you all right? Yeah, well, we found a piece. Is this metal? You almost didn't. No, it's quite a celebration. They've set up the stage behind. You see the deserving pit crew and Henry. Look at that. Confetti's getting ready to come out. Look at the side of that car. HenryCars.com, but you see the scrape again. He had
You know, they used to have an actual victory lane at Homestead, but they stopped using it, so now they just go on the front stretch. Well, actually, they still have a victory lane for when they had the championship race here, because sometimes whoever won the championship wouldn't win the race, so the race winner would go to victory lane, and the champion would celebrate on the front stretch. There's Larson's kid making sure the car gets through post race. That was the best race of the weekend. Xfinity was like a 5 out of 10 at best. This race is probably a 7, 7.5, which is good.
Kyle Larson was the favorite coming into this race. He showed patience. It was almost like I would just say kind of
Trying to figure out if I want to play or stream anything here after this.
with 7 laps to go in Bowman.
I don't know. I plan on working tomorrow, so I can't stay up.
He was as far back as 22nd.
Hell, I'm talking like it's fucking 9 o'clock. It's fucking 6:30.
We're going to check in as the celebration continues with Regan Smith.
Regan,
Best career finish at Joe Gibbs Racing. That best career finish.
a leaner and meaner Chase Briscoe.
500.
Gibbs made him lose 20 pounds.
I think that's a pretty good day. Yeah.
Could have gave him some of that Joey Logano hair pro. I like the "That's my ass, bro" stop hat he has on.
Stops and break issues, tire vibrations. So, yeah, it was honestly this is what we need.
Ass, bro, it says on the hat.
Come out with the top five. We can finally kind of build on this. Felt like we've had good speed all year, but just haven't been able to kind of show that. So, yeah, just appreciate Johnny Morris, everybody at Bass Pro Shops. Run all day long and kind of show what I feel like I'm capable of. So, yeah, looking forward to the next couple of weeks. There are a lot of really good racetracks. I feel like.
I give Dylan a break because he was pissed after Spring Bristol last year, and that was universally a beloved race. So sometimes you have to like in the moment you're disappointed because you expected one thing and didn't get it, and then you have a couple of days to think about it, and you go, well, it's like when Atlanta ended. Remember, Atlanta ended under caution, and I was pretty pissed off. After like 2 or 3 days, I was like, they kind of had to throw the caution, and I was over it and understood it. I was pretty mad when Atlanta ended under caution, though. I would say the worst year of next gen was probably the first year, and that wasn't even a bad year, but just remember Martinsville and the flat short tracks and all that first year, it was pretty fucking lousy. The next gen has gotten incrementally better every year they've run it because the tires are getting better. They tweak the cars a bit, but the main thing is the tires are getting better and more balanced. 2019 was one of the worst years in the history of NASCAR. 2019 was fucking garbage. 2020 was better. 21 was good. And then we went next gen. And it's had its ups and downs. But a Homestead, like a race on a 1.5-mile track from like 2013 to 2019 or 2020 or whatever, nobody would have enjoyed it. Because Homestead was like the only halfway decent 1.5 mile for like a decade. And now all the 1.5 miles are good. But Martinsville's next week. I hope it's like the playoff race was last year because that was a good race. I'm going to go figure out if I want to play or stream anything else.